Diddy's assistant breaks his silence on Diddy's freak-off parties. Diddy's assistant from 2019 to 2022 sat down on the fall of Diddy and did an explosive interview detailing the horrifics of Diddy's freak-off parties and how he had to set up and how he also had to clean up afterwards. Throughout this interview, Philip Pines gave bombshell receipts and even confirmed that he testified to the grand jury against Diddy. And the receipts this man has is insane. He has photographs, he has text messages, and he also has voice memos from Diddy talking about the setup and the cleanups of these freak-offs. Philip Pine's allegations against Diddy are very similar to those in Lil Rod's lawsuit, and we know that Lil Rod also worked on the Love album, and he worked during the Love album as well. Diddy's assistant was regularly asked to get a laundry list of items for the freak-offs that Diddy referred to during the Love album times allegedly as Wild King nights. The list of items included lights, alcohol, and a lot of different substances. He said those requests started to become more and more frequent. It started to occur on a daily basis. There was a requirement. We had to keep those things stocked, he says, adding that Christina Quorum, Diddy's chief of staff's enterprise, commonly delegated these tasks. He included so many text messages from Christina Quorum about him having to set up these freak-off parties. Wild King Hotel night tonight. Prep a bag. You will be going to set up a hotel in the next 2 hours. There was even a text message about a list of substances that he was allegedly supposed to give Diddy. She also talks about Astroglide and baby oil. Again, another separate text message asking for the same things with 4 of those young coconuts. That's the only part that I don't understand. Text messages telling him that he is going to have to ride to adult shops with them. FYI, I think Diddy is doing the Wild King night at the hotel. In this documentary, there were voice memos of Diddy saying, "Phil, can you come back upstairs and help me set up the red light?" This is another accusation that Lil Rod talks about in his lawsuit. Another voice memo that we heard in this documentary was Diddy asking Pines to get him a whole bunch of different substances. We only heard a few voice memos compared to the whole list it showed in the documentary that he actually had from Diddy. He also had pictures of the baby oil and the Astroglide that he would have to set up in these hotels. He said that he was also in charge of getting candles and incense, Apple TVs, electronics, including iPads, on which Diddy allegedly filmed these acts. And he said it was also his job to scrub these acts from Diddy's personal devices so family members and business partners wouldn't find them. Pines said that one of the hardest parts about his job was having to clean up these wrecked rooms after Diddy's events. He said the floors in the room were slippery due to the mass amounts of baby oil used in the acts. There would be baby oil surrounding the bathtub, and there would be a bathtub full of water, and you would reach down there to unplug it and you would feel the baby oil was in the bathtub. He said that he would also find bodily fluids, used condoms, baby oil, Astroglide, broken glass, urine, and blood. He said it wasn't uncommon for there to be stains on the furniture or stains on the sheets that they needed to remove. One can only imagine what was actually happening. It's disgusting. He also included more text messages from Christina Quorum that said Diddy said he's going to need emergency cleanup at the hotel once they leave and come to the house. And another one said, "Hey, Diddy is still in the hotel, but when you get to Mapleton, he asked if you could bring him stain remover for a chair and couch and black trash bags and baking soda too," he said. He also shared other text messages that seemed to be from another employee. They said, "I just got to his hotel. He is litty, but he is still vibin'. Hit me up when you get to Mapleton." He said, "Bet, cleanup gonna be insane." This person replied, "I call it baby oil party, Khaled voice." Diddy's assistant also said that he recalled a time during his employment witnessing Diddy allegedly getting violent with a young woman. He said, "I remember at the time I saw Diddy assault one of his guests at the home in Florida. Things were getting a little heated. They were very argumentative. He cursed at her and told her, 'I told you I was crazy.'" He claims that Diddy kicked this young woman twice, and after she fell to the floor, he ordered him to take off his hoodie. She was topless, and my thinking was I had a little jacket on, so I took it off to cover her, got her in the Uber, and she went home. At the end of the interview, he broke down in tears and described that Diddy allegedly ordered him to have physical relations with a girl to prove his loyalty to him. He said he took a shot with Diddy and his female guests at the time, and he alleged that that was Diddy's way of making sure that you felt comfortable. He said he then went back to the office and sat there, and then he got summoned again to take another shot. He said that he remembers Diddy allegedly saying the words, "Prove your loyalty to me, your king." He claimed that Diddy grabbed him by the shoulders, gave him a massage like a coach would give a player that's about to enter a game, handed him protection, and then pushed him to the girl that was sitting on the couch. He said, "I froze before it took place. I didn't know what was happening. In that moment, I felt like, is this fun for him? Is this a test for entertainment? Does he know he's doing this? Is he that gone? I didn't know what to do." He then said that the woman gave him consent and nodded her head, and he performed for a little bit, and then he ran out of the room as soon as he didn't see Diddy in his sight anymore. Honestly, just my opinion on this, I think that this former assistant for Diddy possibly got caught up and he had no choice but to give his statements, and this is why he testified to the grand jury. And I say this because in Diddy's indictment, specifically the racketeering charge, it said that Diddy relied on employees, resources, and influence of a multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise. And this man alone had so many receipts, and I can only imagine, since we know that he testified to the grand jury, that he probably gave all of this to the grand jury. And I can only assume that Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Korm, is probably going to be in a lot of trouble. This is not the first time that this woman has been named for allegedly taking part in felicitating some of these things happening. Most notably in Little Rod's lawsuit, which is around the same time that this man is saying some very similar allegations against Diddy and Christina Korm. Philip Pines not only sued Diddy, he also sued Christina Korm, and we are about to get into this lawsuit in my next video that I'm about to upload in just a little bit. I will also add this whole lawsuit over on my Patreon at KadishaLynn if you're interested in reading the whole thing. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.